What's up? What up, guys? Welcome to a new video. Yeah, anyway, welcome to a new video. So I really wanted to get this video out to you guys. One, ignore the hair. Just lighting, even good. My camera, I dropped my camera and I was worried it wasn't gonna work anymore, but it's working, so we're vibing right now. Anyway, about to drink this coffee as soon as it cools down a little bit, because it's a little bit too hot for me right now. But anyway, as I was saying, wanted to get this video out, one, because I needed to get this video out, but two, so I wanted to share with you, aside of what I'm gonna talk about later, but this past training week and even this past block extending pretty much the whole first month of 2022, because it's still January. So this whole past month has been arguably some of my best training ever. So I just wanted to share some of that. So we're gonna go back and let's look at Saturday's session. It's currently Wednesday today, right? So I'm uploading this video today so I can get it up and upload it today, but we're gonna do a quick recap. Because I admit, it's probably some of the best training we've ever done, right? So this past weekend, Saturday, hit a PR in squats and followed it up with not a PR on deadlifts, but pretty damn close to a PR on deadlift. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch that and then we'll come back. All right, so. All right, what's up, guys? So you just saw the 605 squat PR for 4 reps. Felt really great. And then I followed that up with a 605 deadlift triple, which felt phenomenal. And for me, to be able to hit a squat PR like that, and then to turn around and hit a deadlift, not a PR, but that was the heaviest triple I've done in a decent amount of months on deadlift. Really great. Almost pretty much unheard of for me, right? So like I mentioned, the past block has been probably one of my best ever, and I just want to carry this momentum, because I know I'm gonna have blocks in the future that are gonna be terrible, because I've been in the game long enough. Like, you have really great blocks where everything's clicked, and then you go through a period of a month or two where every lift just sucks. But the thing is, through whether it's going great or whether it's sucking, you just show up and be consistent. That's how you get past the bad periods into the great ones, right? You just have to understand that cycle. But because this past block has been so good, I wanted to make sure I got on here and talked about it a little bit. And then I really want to, I'm about 5 weeks out now, February 26th. So I really want to document the next month or so of prep with some good quality lifting and maybe even some raw footage of some complete sessions, because I don't think I've ever showed just me raw training footage, right? Usually it's just a clip of a single, usually just a clip of like a back down. It's never any like completely raw footage, so I might be throwing that up there. If you guys want to see raw footage, let me know. I can definitely do that once. I can even do that like a lot more often, because that's easy. Just film and upload, right? Not really post like highlights or anything. So with that being said, I just want to make sure that I carry this momentum. I document how good training has been, because I know there's going to be a time when it's not going to be so great. But the key is, when that time comes, just being consistent, showing up every day, making sure I take care of the stuff on my end, my nutrition, my sleep, my water, highlighting my own recovery, because that definitely makes a difference between where I'm at in a block, right? So the topic of this video, I actually got a question the other day. Someone asked me, going to transition into the topic of the video. Do you ever get injured, or have I ever been injured, or how do I not get injured, right? It seems like I'm always healthy, right? So that's not always true. I'm not always healthy. I do deal with minor injuries here and there, but generally when I do deal with them, I don't say anything about it, because honestly it doesn't matter. Pretty much every lifter goes through something, so as long as you're not injured, like, there's a difference between being hurt and being injured. And I think if you like play sports, you kind of know that. Like, if you're hurt, you can manage it. If you're injured, you kind of got to push back, right? So I've never been seriously injured enough to where I had to push back, right? And the reason I don't ever get seriously injured, I'm going to knock on wood here, right, is probably 1, quality training. 2, I'm taking care of my recovery. I've already mentioned, right? Like I'm taking care of my recovery, I'm taking care of my sleep, I'm eating my protein, I'm drinking my water. Then I have quality training, and I'm stacking quality training over time. So I'm building up my body. I have a good base. I'm resilient. So all that has led to me not being injured. Essentially, it's just being smart with how you train, right? Focus on quality over quantity. And I know I've talked about this in past videos, right? It's all about quality. Quantity doesn't even matter. Quality over the long run is what's going to help you win. So that's probably the biggest key for why I haven't been injured. Like, rarely ever do I actually overshoot now. I honestly can't remember the last time I failed a lift in training. Like, I couldn't remember. It's been over 2 years since I failed a lift in a comp, but I couldn't remember the last time I failed one in training. Just because it's quality, right? If I think I'm going to overshoot, let's say I have a set of 7 on bench, and if I get to rep like 3, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be an overshoot, I just rack it. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna drop it down, hit my RPEs, and move on, right? You don't have that ego with training, and that goes a long way with not getting injured and just overall being healthy. And then on the other, and the times I have been injured, simply I just load manage my way through the injury, maintain what I can maintain, load manage it, build it back up, and then boom, I'm generally gonna be better off where I was, right? So for an example, had a little bit of a shoulder issue about a year and a half ago. It really affected my bench. So what I did, dropped down RPEs a tad bit, and I moved my grip in. And I trained like that for 3 or 4 months. Shoulder injury got better because the stress was less. It was able to recover. And then since I was training with a closer grip, I didn't just go back out. I load managed it basically. Load management is going to take care of like 99% of issues, right? So basically what I did, I went back out to my comp grip once a week, built up the volume, the tolerance to that. Then I went back out to comp grip twice a week, built up that volume, load, and tolerance. Then I moved it up to 3 weeks, and now we're back where we were. And after like a 4 or 5 month period, I hit like a 20-pound bench PR, right? So it's just managing everything through quality, and that's what load management essentially is, right? So that's one way how I deal with injuries. And one thing that's definitely helped me in the past is I don't look at it as an all or none kind of thing. It's not like, oh, my shoulder hurts, I can't train today. It's, hey, my shoulder hurts, but guess what? I can still train today, because generally there's always going to be something you can do to still get a stimulus. And that is what's so important, is when you're actually hurt or injured or dealing with something, is that you want to do essentially a minimum effective dose of whatever you can do to still maintain. Like, you're not going to gain strength if you're dealing with an injury, but you want to maintain your baseline, and you want to maintain your work. And you can do that fairly easy. Like, there's always substitutes. If your shoulder is bothering you on low bar squat, you can do some high bar squat. You can do some SSB squat, right? If like, for instance, when my shoulder is bothering me, what did I do? Well, hey, if I bring in and train close grip bench, it doesn't affect me. Sure, the load's not the same, but I can get quality work in and maintain my baseline, and then all of a sudden I'm healthy. Widen that grip back out, build that back up, right? Because we have to get that tissue tolerance back up to where it was, and all of a sudden we're healthier than we were, and now we're stronger than we were, simply because we were just smart about it. So that's one reason of how I deal with injuries, right? Pretty much just load management, right? Anytime something happens, pull back, load, find a variation that I can do, apply less volume, a little bit less intensity, still maintain that baseline of work, and then once I get healthy, I can start to build back up, right? It's important that you don't jump right back into it, because that's why you got hurt in the first place. Simply, your tissue probably wasn't ready for the demands placed on it, so you have to expose your body, and then you gotta let it adapt, right? So just keep that in mind. That's how I deal with pretty much any of my little hiccups or injuries that I have. And then back to like the reason I haven't been hurt, we'll just go look. So here's a perfect example. I'm gonna show you my squat from Tuesday, from yesterday. 615 single. Check. That moves really good, right? That's my single at 615. Old me, 2-3 years ago, would have gone up. 635, 645, would have smashed that, right? New me's like, it doesn't matter. I moved 615 great. I'm gonna take that dub there. I'm gonna go put in some work with some quality backdowns. And I had some really good quality backdowns, right? Because if you know it, singles don't build our strength. Singles are where we develop the skill to display our strength, Real strength is built in the back downs, so I put a lot more emphasis on my back downs now than I ever did on my singles. I want my singles to look good and quality and crisp, but I really want my back downs to be great. And so that's what I did. Like, by not pushing that single, I could have gone up to 635, 645, maybe even slightly overshot, but then my body would have been feeling it a little bit more, and then I would have wasted energy and time, and that would have taken away from my back down work, which is the most important part, right? So it's just knowing your body and knowing that what I do today doesn't matter as long as it's quality and I'm within the RPs. I know I've touched on this before because it's literally the key, right? So that's why I keep mentioning it and keep bringing it up. But just kind of like, and that along with the past few years, having quality coaching, having a good program, having high stress days, low stress days, knowing when to push, knowing when to pull back, just being smart with training essentially and focusing on quality is pretty much the reason I haven't been seriously injured. Now we're gonna knock on wood and hopefully we can maintain that, because sometimes freak injuries do happen. I've had hiccups here and there, but when that happens, like I said, I find a way to load manage and I'm generally able to still push something. I'm generally able to still get stronger. So I don't ever have to completely dial back, because if you start having to completely dial back, that's when you start getting beat, right? So just kind of keep all that in mind. Hopefully that helps. I know I have some questions about that too, so hopefully that kind of clears up dealing with injuries, what to look for. So essentially, to sum it up, if you're dealing with an injury, find something you can do, a variation, something. The most important thing is that you can maintain a baseline of work, and then find a way to keep pushing. And then once you get to a healthier point, then you can start adding in more intensity, more load, more volume, gradually expose your tissue to that, let it adapt, and then keep pushing, right? So, and then for just staying healthy long term, focus on quality training. It's that simple. Have a good program, have a good coach, stick to the plan, focus on quality training, take care. Now, it's your responsibility to take care of your own variables, right? I gotta sleep, I gotta get my protein in, I gotta drink my water, those kind of things, and everything else will just kind of take care of itself, right? So anyway, hope that answers your guys' questions. Training's been going great. Look for another video real soon, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time.